She just suddenly got up and said she had to leave and go back to Las Vegas and had to get on a plane that day, and no matter what we said to her, she wouldn't renege on having to go. We took Jessie to the airport and watched her walk away for the last time on Christmas of 2005, and 3 months later she was missing. And so now Christmas will never be the same, and life will never be the same. She kept in consistent contact with us, and she talked to her sister one night, and the next day she didn't return any calls. Her fiance told me that, you know, he hadn't seen her since the 3rd of April. And I said, well, no, we talked to her on the 28th of March, and we know if Jessie was still around until the 3rd of April, we would have heard from her. And I called the girl that was Jessie's friend, and she told me, when I asked, you know, where Jessie is, she told me I had the wrong number. And I called back a while later, and I just disguised my voice, and I called her by her nickname, and she acknowledged that I had the right number. And so right away I thought, well, the only two people who know Jessie in Las Vegas are both lying to me. I haven't got very much support or help or even acknowledgement from the police department in charge of the case, North Las Vegas. They are given tips by people who will eventually call me and tell me that they've been trying to get a call back from the police to give them some information, and the police don't return the calls. I talk to people and they're astounded. You know all this stuff, why are the police not doing anything? I get that every day from people, every day. Around the world, people cannot believe that North Las Vegas is not doing more. They even told me when Jessie went missing, she probably just took off. She probably had it with her family and decided to start a new life. Or, you know, and then he waves his hand and he goes, that's a big desert out there, and if she's dead, she'll turn up one day. He tried to dismiss us with that, and I said, well, you can't, you know, what we need is get some media on Jessie's case. He said, media is not going to be interested in Jessie's case. I almost took that as a challenge. I left that office thinking, you know what, Jessie's going to get media, and I'm going to be the lead investigator on Jessie's case. The private investigator found out right away that Jessie had been beaten and hospitalized, that Jessie had been arrested for solicitation of prostitution. She was going up to undercover officers 5 times altogether, and she probably thought if she got arrested they'd send her home. When she went to court, she received a fine, which what we thought was fiance paid the fine. What we found out afterwards was, you know, he was known to the police to be a pimp, that he actually had a regular bail bond service that he used for women when they got arrested that worked for him. I talked to a woman who owned the escort agency that Jessie was forced to work at, and she acknowledged that she does believe she was forced to work there, that she did become close with Jessie. She felt that Jessie was different than the girls there. She told me flat out, Jessie did not belong down here. She would tell me that Jessie did not do what she did, you know, to support a drug habit, but she did see Jessie with bruises from time to time, and that when she told Jessie she should go home, Jessie would tell her that she's too afraid to leave. She cried her heart out to me. She actually thought that Jessie was dead. A lot of the people that know Jessie down in Las Vegas in that area believe that that night Jessie was murdered. You know, it was not any decisions made on her part. She was taken to the United States. She was lured. She was likely under false pretenses and then blackmailed. Jessie is a victim of modern-day slavery, and she's been forced to work in the sex industry now for over 5 years. And she's my baby, and she would never have done that. Not one person who knows Jessie, or who has even learned of Jessie, believes that that would have been a choice. My daughter doesn't deserve to be forgot about or sitting inside a folder on a desk. She deserved to have someone spend every waking moment of their life looking for her, and that's what I do. I have become friends with members of Parliament who are changing laws in Canada, and I have become friends with people who have started organizations who are victims of human trafficking. I've been told by moms, and I've even been told by some detectives, that a mother's heart can be a really good tool for investigation, and they use it sometimes to keep going. The reason I haven't lost hope is because I feel Jessie connected still in my heart. I have 4 daughters, and my heartstring to Jessie is still just as secure as my heartstring to my other daughters. I'm gonna find Jessie, or I'm gonna die trying.